United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome everybody. This is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2025, to the Southampton Town Trustees General Session here, 1 p.m. Town Hall asks Secretary Treasurer Warner to call the roll.
Scott Horowitz.
I'm here.
Warner present. Chip Marin.
Here.
Joe McLaughlin.
Here.
Parsons.
Present.
All right, thank you. Welcome to the folks that are on Zoom. Just want to let everybody know the next work session will be Monday, April 7th, 2025, 9:30 a.m., followed by our regular session at 1 p.m. on the same day, obviously. We have some communications that came in to the office. I'll dispense with reading. You all have copies of them in your box.
Second that.
Seconded, Trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
We have some public hearings on the agenda. Get right down to business. First notice of public hearing authorizes trustees to remove and dispose of abandoned property on trustee property located at 3905 Noyak Road, Noyak, and 35 Crescent Street in Noyak. I'd like to open the public hearing.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Would you like to speak on this?
This public hearing was put on to give notice to people who'd left property on our property at 3905 Noyak Road. It was to give them notice that if they didn't remove it, we were going to remove it. We're holding the hearing. If there's anybody here to speak to it, it's giving them an opportunity. And I would respectfully ask that the board close the hearing at the completion.
Anybody on Zoom have their hand up that wants to speak to the trustees concerning? Okay, no one wants to speak on Zoom. Anybody in the audience want to speak to the trustees?
I'd just like to say this is two locations, 3905 Noyak Road and 35 Crescent Street.
My mistake. Thanks for the correction.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Anybody? Nobody?
Vote to close.
Normally, people use these access points for the bays and stuff like that. Kayaks, canoes, and other stuff. People just leave them there over the winter, and sometimes they come back and use them next season. Sometimes they just accumulate. So we're looking to clean up any material or stuff that was left there and or abandoned there and get rid of it to make the environment a cleaner, safer place. So I think it's a good proposal.
All right, well, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, public hearing is closed. I have a notice of public hearing on amendment of rules and regulations for the management of products of the town waters. Article 8, parking by permit on trustee roads. I would like to open up that public hearing.
Second.
Seconded, Trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, the purpose of this Blue Book change is to update roads where we have, a list of roads where we have allowed the Parks Department to perform certain services and to allow their permit to also allow a person to park. There is one deletion, and the other is to harmonize so that there isn't any confusion as to whose rules will apply. It harmonizes and allows the Parks Department to basically set the tone for how those roads will be administered. As you may recall, we allow them to put the stickers on cars, and they collect trash for us, saving the taxpayer the money of having to pay for private sanitation on our roads.
It makes consistency with enforcement much easier. There are multiple layers of government that, the police department, the Parks Department, and us, and the multiple layers of enforcement as far as police part-time and full-time. So when they go down there, they give these tickets. Sometimes they shouldn't be given, or it's consistency for them and makes it easier for everybody to enforce the rules of the town and the trustees.
We have a notice of adoption later on in the agenda.
So, thank you. Here.
Close.
Anybody on Zoom?
Anybody on Zoom want to speak to this? No one wants to speak to this on Zoom. If that's the case, I'll make a motion to close.
Second.
Seconded by McLaughlin and Warner. All in favor?
Aye.
That public hearing is closed. All right. Now let's go to public portion. Anybody that wants to address the trustees, 3 minutes. Now is your time. If you are on Zoom, if you want to put your hand up, if you want to address the trustees, anybody in the audience that would like to speak to the trustees, now's the time to approach the podium. Okay. No one wants to do that, so I'll make a motion to close public portion.
Second that.
Seconded by trustee Parsons. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, applications for permits, let's get right down to them. I have trustee resolution 2025-79. It's a modification for Deborah Tennyson, 17 Weesick, 900-3420106 on Weesick Creek. Recommend its approval.
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye. Trustee resolution 2025-80, the first renewal application of E. Vichay Family Trust, 285 Surfside Drive in Bridgehampton, tax map 900-117-02-23. This is just a simple sand renourishment project that we talked about.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee resolution 2025-81. This is the first renewal application of Calipine LLC, 33 Bluff Road in the Village of Sag Harbor, tax map 903-004-001-028.0, and this is a 76-foot pier.
Second it.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 82 of 2029. This is a application 44 First Neck, Village of Southampton. Tax map 904-27-1-0 by Ward. Can I have a second?
Second on that.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 83 of 25. This is a modification amendment for 509 for Captain's Neck Lane, Village of Southampton. Certificate tax at 904-12-1-10.6. Can I have a second?
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 84 of 25. This is recall and amend application for Hoffman's at 16 Cove Road, North Sea. Certificate tax at 900-61-1-69 Body Water, Fish Cove. Can I have a second?
Second on that.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we got trustee resolution 2025-85, recall and amend 2025 TRUS 24, authorized payment for the professional services of counsel Be Ready, Fishbein, Hatter, Donovan LLP. Whereas the resolution 2025 shall be recalled and amended the amount from in the amount not to exceed $25,000 to in an amount not to exceed $87,500, and so be it resolved.
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Notice of adoption, trustee resolution 2025-86, notice of adoption of amendment of Blue Book A340, amending the management and products of the waters of the town of Southampton. Article 13, parking by permit on the trustees' roads. We just discussed this previously, so I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we got trustee resolution 2025-87, authorized the purchase of services for the relocation and install MX65 from CCSI Source Pass. This is to get better efficiency for our marine maintenance department, and I recommend its approval.
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee resolution 2025-88, authorized president to sign a lease extension for the Conscience Point boat ramp.
Second.
Seconded by trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee resolution 2025-89, budget amendment, appropriation of fund balance and transfer from contingent, increasing town contracts.
Second.
Basically, it's going to go from 10,000 to 19,000, adding $19,072 to the contracts from GL 9987900064990000, and to the fund balance where it's 998790-00-9090-0000 to the GL, which is now of 998790-00-6401-0000 for the amount of $29,072. I recommend its approval. I need a second.
I'll second that.
Second, Trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Trustee Resolution 2025-90, warrant number 4 for 2025, the sum of $33,196. The check Ross lives as Automotive Rentals, Inc. for $1,097.11. Be Ready Fish Fund Hatter, $24,497.50. Call Ahead for $50. Joseph R. Lombardo for $3,400. James E. Olivo for $2,500. Riverhead Building Supply for $1,430.44. And W.B. Masons, Inc. for $221.30 for a total of $33,196.35. I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second that.
Second, Trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, I know it's been a busy day. We haven't stopped since 9:30 this morning, right? Work session, executive session, general session. Does anybody have anything else they need to discuss with the trustees? I mean, they got the beach nourishment project going on out east, right?
I'm hoping that it's going to finalize shortly because it's going to run into the Plover window. I don't know what they're going to do if they haven't completed it.
They've spoken, they are applying for an extension with the Army Corps as of the end of last week. And they'll be up against it, dealing with the having to procure plover monitoring for the project to continue. They're nowhere near done. They haven't finished the western section, and they're just about to Peters Pond. So they've got quite a bit of beach left too.
Right.
So is that for 2025, the fall, the extension, or is that for 26?
Well, we'll see how that all
We'll see how
turns
that
out.
rolls out.
We'll see how it all
Good
turns
luck to
out.
them. They don't have the best of weather up against them.
Right,
so,
it's a
yeah.
big project, and on any of these projects, you're working against Mother Nature, big seas. At one point, they had 14, 15-foot seas. Everyone, they just got to do the best that they can.
The big dredge can only dredge in 4 to 5 at tops.
Right.
So, they
So
really,
you
it's
can't
not good.
control everything.
I think it's important to just give a quick shout out to all the first responders for the brush fire last week.
Absolutely, and they trust, when they pulling water out of some of our water bodies to help aid in it, so you had every single regulatory, right? You had
Everybody
first of
was,
all, all the volunteers and the first responders deserve all the credit, and they were so great. They learned a lot, obviously, from prior fires and prior experience.
30 years ago.
Right, and the way this community comes together, and my hat's off to all the EMS and the firefighters for a great job, and obviously all of us as elected officials and to support whatever it is that they need. I mean, my son's a city fireman and a volunteer fireman, so obviously, my hat's off to that. I'm very proud of that. But this community, the volunteers really come together, and they really prove to be professionals and dedicated. And they knocked that down. It could have been a lot worse.
Thank you, James.
James too, right? Southampton fireman, right? Thanks to everybody.
May I just share an anecdote? Last week I was in Illinois on family business, and the fire made the national news. A couple of my cousins were asking about it, and there was a News 12 link that my wife had sent me, and I showed it to them. It was where the fire jumped 31, and the next morning when I told them, "Oh, the fires are pretty well out. They're contained," they were like unbelievable. They couldn't believe the skill and the luck that also went into it. And when I pointed out to them it was volunteers, that was just like they couldn't believe that happening in Illinois. That it's a different mindset that we have, and they really tip their hats to everybody.
Yeah, no, the volunteers, the first responders, the EMS, CMTs. I mean, my hat's off to them. It's dedication. It's constant training. And at any second, it all changes, and everybody's got to, do what they got to do, and they clearly showed that they did, and we're very thankful for that.
Good job.
is there anything else anybody needs to discuss? Because I think we've basically spent so much time in executive session that we're pretty
We're
much
good for today.
meetinged out. And we got a lot to work on moving forward behind the scenes here, right?
A lot to digest from today's.
A lot to
meetings.
digest from today's meetings, right? So, all right, I will make a motion to adjourn and get on with our day.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, great.